Sheetal, Prabhu, could I ask you, could you look at the Bhagavad Gita schedule just outside the door? Just the Bhagavad Gita class schedule. Just see if, maybe there we go. That's okay. Yeah, he's arrived. Haribol, Prabhu. Okay, so now we'll have Bhagavad Gita class, and tomorrow we'll get to read a little bit more of this, but we have a special festival tomorrow. It is Sri Srivas Thakur's appearance day. Srivas Thakur is one of the members of the Panchatattva. Yes, you'll see in the picture just above me, on the very right-hand side. And he was an intimate associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself. And he represents the marginal energy of the Lord. Each of us belongs to the marginal energy of Krishna, Tatastha Shakti, as jivas, tiny spirit souls. So Srivas Thakur is the leader of all of us. And he is also an incarnation of Sri Narada Muni, the great transcendental, traveling devotee of Krishna. So tomorrow we will celebrate Srivas Thakur's appearance. His Grace Kripa Moya Prabhu will be giving class from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. And then we'll be doing a little bit of a dramatic something or other with Jai Krishna Prabhu between 6:30 and 7. And so before 5:30, from about 4:30 to 5:30, I will attempt to do a little kirtan and read something. That's tomorrow's schedule. So now we have Bhagavad Gita class. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. A very warm welcome to this evening's Bhagavad Gita class. This is something which we do, this is something what we do every day. We try to do at least. And so what we'll be doing, we'll be singing a song called Jai Radha Madhava. This is what Srila Prabhupada used to sing before every class. So we'll be having some kirtan and we'll do it in call and response fashion. Call and response fashion means I'll do the calling. At that time you can stay silent and listen. And then you can do the responding. Then you can do the singing. And I'll stay silent and listen to you. So like this. This is a teamwork. So let's do this. And then we'll get into the discussion of this particular shloka of Bhagavad Gita. We are discussing something from 5th chapter. All right. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. All right. So today we are discussing from the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, the verse is there. This chapter is entitled Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. So, the verse today is text 20. You can try to repeat after me. How many of you are Sanskrit scholars over here? Nobody, right? So don't you worry, I'm also not a Sanskrit scholar. When I was in school, we were offered a third language. In India, this is what happens. When you are in grade 6, they ask you, you want to study Sanskrit, French or German? So when I was asked, so in India, most of students, they take Sanskrit because parents are like, if you take Sanskrit, then we can teach you. No need of tuition classes, right? So free tuition at home. So everyone takes Sanskrit, but my parents were like, we are modern parents. We don't want to make a Pandit out of you. We want to send you to Europe. Take French. Hardly did I know that I'll be doing the job of a Pandit over here, you know. So I'm also not a Sanskrit scholar. So you can, if you are struggling, don't you worry. I'm also struggling. So let's try to recite this one line at a time. Na prahrishyet priyam prapya. Na prahrishyet priyam prapya. No dvijet prapya cha priyam. No dvijet prapya cha priyam. Sthira buddhir asammudha. Sthira buddhir asammudha. Brahmavid brahmani sthitah. Brahmavid brahmani sthitah. Na prahrishyet priyam prapya. No dvijet prapya cha priyam. Sthira buddhira sammudha. Brahmavid brahmani sthitah. Anyone would like to try? Na prahrishyet priyam prapya. No dvijet prapya cha priyam. Sthira buddhira sammudha. Brahmavid brahmani sthitah. Anyone else? Alright, no worries. We'll go to the translation. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God, is already situated in transcendence. So this is what Krishna has spoken. Now we'll go through the purport, which is the commentary by Srila Prabhupada on this verse. The symptoms of self-realized person are given herein. The first symptom is that he is not illusioned by the false identification of the body with his true self. He knows perfectly well that he is not this body, but is a fragmental portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is therefore not joyful in achieving something, nor does he lament in losing anything which is related to his body. This steadiness of mind is called sthira buddhi or self-intelligence. He is therefore never bewildered by mistaking the gross body for the soul, nor does he accept the body as permanent and disregard the existence of the soul. This knowledge elevates him to the station of knowing the complete science of the absolute truth, namely Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. He thus knows his constitutional position perfectly well without falsely trying to become one with the Supreme in all respects. This is called Brahman realization or self-realization. Such steady consciousness is called Krishna consciousness. So we'll recite some prayers before we begin the discussion. If you know these prayers, you can join in. Otherwise, you can simply meditate. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patita Nama Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnapadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminite Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Hare Krishna. So very warm welcome to you all once again to this evening's Bhagavad Gita class. This is a very wonderful verse because here Krishna is talking about those people who are on the stage of liberation. So Krishna is telling how will such a person act. Through actions we can determine the mindset of a person, the consciousness, the state of consciousness of a person. So Krishna is saying that such a person who is liberated, who is above the material consciousness, he does not rejoice upon achieving something pleasant. Basically, when he achieves something really nice, which is applauded by people in general, he does not become very joyful, very happy. He remains steady. He is in a sane state of mind. He behaves in an equipoised way. And if something unpleasant comes, at that time also, that person does not become agitated. That person doesn't become dejected. So these two situations mean that such a person is not driven by the feelings of happiness and distress. Such a person is not driven by feelings. Why? Why is such a person not driven by feelings? Because the driving force of his life is not his feelings. His driving force is his purpose. He is driven by his duties. He is driven by what he is supposed to do. He is driven by a goal, not driven by feelings. And I'm not saying that this is what actually Krishna says in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He says that there are two types of people. One category is of those who are driven by a goal. Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekeha gurunandana bahushakha yanantasya buddhayo avyavasayinam. Vyavasayi atmika. Some people, they are committed to a purpose. Interestingly, Krishna uses the term Vyavasayi to address this category of people. What does the term Vyavasayi mean? Anyone? Sorry? A businessman. So, now the question comes, if Vyavasayi refers to businessman, why is Krishna using the term businessman to address those who are driven by a purpose? Why? Because a businessman, anyone businessman here? Anyone? Okay. So my father is a businessman, so he was telling that what Krishna has talked about over here is on point, A businessman is always committed to one thing, and that is profit. He does not care what weather is there outside. He does not care which government is there in power. His only concern is, how can I make more profit? How can I earn more money? He does not care who is coming, who is going. His only concern is with money. Even if the businessman is on a vacation, on his way to the vacation destination or on his way back, if he can make more networks, he'll do that. Why? Because more networks means more money, right? More networks means more profit. and that more profit will bring more money. So Krishna is saying, Ekeha Kurunandana, single point retention. I was in Delhi Delhi is my hometown, so I was there last year in September. So our family went on a vacation to Vrindavan. So vacation means it's a holiday. But even during those holidays, my father, he did not turn off his mobile phone. Why? Because you never know when there will be a good deal. So he didn't want to miss out on that. So that's the mindset of those who are driven by purpose, always conscious of their goal. The second category is of those whom Krishna is addressing as avyavasayi, means those who are not committed to a goal, those who are not driven by a purpose. Now you may ask that if they are not driven by a purpose, then what are they driven by? They must be having some driving force in life, right? If somebody is existing, if somebody is breathing, if somebody is living in this world, then they must be driven by something. So what's their driving force? Krishna is saying, the driving force of these second type of people is their mind. They are driven by feelings. They are driven by their emotions. They are not committed to a purpose, and therefore they are always distracted. It is said, those who are not committed to anything are distracted by everything. Right? And if you go on to ask them, hey, bhai, why is this the case? Why are you not committed to a goal? Why are you not committed to a purpose? So they will say that if we do so, if we become committed to a goal, then we'll become bound. We'll become entangled, and I don't want to be bound. I want to have a great time. I want to eat, drink, and be merry. And is it true? Yes, to some extent it is true. Those who are driven by feelings, they may have a great time. But those who are driven by purpose, they have a great life. Those who are driven by feelings, they may know how to look cool. But those who are driven by purpose, they know how to be cool. Those who are driven by feelings, they chase fleeting pleasures. But those driven by purpose, they build lasting legacies. Those who are driven by purpose, their source of nourishment is external praise. Those who are driven by purpose, their source of nourishment is their own inner blaze. They are not bothered by external praise. They are not bothered by external validation. It is said that if external validation is the only source of our nourishment, then be prepared to stay hungry for the rest of your life. Right? So those who are driven by purpose, they are not bothered by what people are thinking about us. I don't know about the culture here in UK, but back in India, in my university, what used to happen? There were some students who were backbenchers, who used to always sit at the back, but some were who were front benchers. They used to always take the front seat. So these backbenchers, they used to make fun of the front benchers. Hey, you are a nerd, you are a geek. In Hindi they call gissu, maggu, something like that, That, why are you sitting there? You look so uncool. Come here. That's how you look cool. Sitting in the front, that's so unimpressive. But guess what? When it was time for exams, during the examination time, it is these same nerds, it is these same geeks who used to have a relaxed time. They used to sleep for 8 hours, 10 hours because they have worked hard during the semester, during the term. And the backbenchers, they used to somehow manage with 2 hours of sleep, finding solutions, finding answers, finding tutorials, drinking energy drinks. Why? Because the purpose was to look cool and not to be cool. Right? When the front benchers were busy studying on the front bench, the back benchers were busy with WhatsApp, with Instagram, with Facebook, etc. Nothing wrong with Instagram, nothing wrong with Facebook, nothing wrong with WhatsApp. We are not against having fun. Bhagavad Gita is not against having fun. Don't get us wrong. Bhagavad Gita is against those who are trying to have fun all the time. Right? So those who are driven by feelings, they are trying to have fun all the time. It is said that if you try to have fun all the time, then very soon your life will become very funny. If we try to have fun all the time, then soon our life will become a comedy we never asked for. So those who are driven by feelings, they fall under this mindset, this category. They are easily carried away by the ups and downs of life. They forget that ups and downs are not life. Ups and downs are a part of life. They're just a part of my life. After 2007 Cricket World Cup, how many of you into cricket? At least, if you don't play cricket, you at least watch or have some knowledge about cricket. Okay, nobody. Okay, then it makes sense for me to give this example. After 2007 Cricket World Cup, Adam Gilchrist, he was interviewed. The interview asked, Mr. Gilchrist, do you have any plans for retirement? Are you planning to retire from the cricketing world? And for your information, 2007 Cricket World Cup was won by Australia, and Adam Gilchrist was an Australian batsman. So this question was asked because that's what everyone does. Everyone tries to end their career on a high note. Everyone tries to announce their retirement after winning some World Cup, some Champions Trophy, some league, some tournament. Why? Because if they do so, throughout their lives, they'll be known as someone who has done something amazing for their country, for their nation. Right? Simple example, 2024 T20 World Cup was won by India. And on the day of the finale, on the final day, 3 Indian legends announced their retirement from T20 cricket. Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma and Ravindra Jadeja. All 3 of them. They didn't even wait for the next day. On the final, as soon as they won the World Cup, right after the presentation ceremony, we are retiring. Why? Because that's what everyone does. Everyone tries to end their career on a high note. So when this question was asked from Gilchrist, everyone expected a yes. But Gilchrist gave a response which was totally unexpected. He said, Adam Gilchrist doesn't make a decision when it's too high or too low. Adam Gilchrist doesn't make a decision when things are too favorable or too unfavorable. Why? Because he knows that success or failure is not my career. Success or failure is a part of my career. So when things are too good or when things are too bad, it's very easy to be carried away by emotions, right? So let the things become a bit neutral, a bit normal. Let the things calm down, and then I'll make important decisions of my life. It is said we should never make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings, right? So if we are being overwhelmed by some external circumstances a lot, take some time, take a break, So that's one thing. And we are talking about having purpose and not being driven by it. So if somebody is having a purpose and is not being driven by it, that is bad, right? That is not so nice a thing. But what is worse is to not have a purpose only altogether in life. To not have a purpose in life is like sitting in a train and asking the question, where can I find food? Now you people must be like, this Ananta has gone crazy. What's wrong with this question? If I am sitting in a train and I am hungry, it makes sense, no? To ask, where can I find food? It's an important question, right? Yes, it's an important question. Where can I find food is an important question. But a more important question is, where is the train going? Right? That is more important. Where can I find food is also important. But there are more important questions. So similarly, if we are having a purpose and not being driven by it, that is bad. But what is worse is to not have a purpose in life. It is said that if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a goal in mind, then just get down on the street and take any path. You will reach there. Means what? If you don't have a fixed destination in mind, just get down, come out of your house, take any street, you will reach there. Why? Because anyhow, in the first place, we never had a fixed goal in mind where to go. Right? So, the Vedic scriptures, they talk about what possible goals we can have in our life. And the highest goal, that is also found in the pages of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Like in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni very wonderfully describes. He says, Tasyaiva heto brayate tako vido na labhyate yad brahmatam uparyadaha tallabhyate dukkavad anyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. He's saying, Tasyaiva heto prayate tako vido. COVID. What does COVID mean? Not COVID-19. COVID is a Sanskrit term which means intelligent. So Narad Muni is trying to say that those of us who are intelligent, or those of us who think we are intelligent, or those of us who want to be intelligent, what we should do? We should not aspire for those things which are easily obtainable anywhere between the highest planet in this world down to the lowest planet. The highest planet in this world is Brahma Loka, the place where Lord Brahma resides. The lowest planet in this creation is Patal Loka, the place where sinful people go. So Narad Muni is saying, ladies and gentlemen, please don't aspire for those things which are easily obtainable anywhere between the highest planet and down to the lowest planet. Okay? Then what should be our aspiration? So as per Narad Muni, our aspiration, our goal of life should be to get out of this world altogether, to escape this world. Now somebody might ask, okay, so you are asking us to put endeavors to get out of this world. Till now, all the endeavors of my life were directed towards sense gratification. Shri Shri Radha Gokulanand ki, Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Gauratai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Somebody might say that till now all of my endeavors, all of my efforts were directed towards accumulating more and more material happiness. All of my endeavors were directed towards increasing my bank balance, maintaining my family, my husband or wife, my kids. My endeavors were towards increasing the size of my house, increasing the size of my car. But now you are telling that I should change the direction of my endeavor towards getting out of this material world. I can do that. But what will happen to that material happiness? Who will take care of that? How will I get that material happiness which I was getting earlier? So Narad Muni is saying that don't you worry about that. Why? Because it will come to you automatically. Automatically. How? How will material happiness come to us automatically? Just like material distress or material misery or material suffering, it comes to us automatically, on its own, without us inviting us. How many of us came to Radha Gokulananda today and said, "Oh my Lord, oh Shri Shri Radha Krishna, since past few days everything is going so wonderfully. Today when I go back to my house from the temple, please let my car have an accident. Please let a random guy on the street slap me in the face. Please let a pickpocketer pick my pocket. When I reach my house, please let my spouse have a fight with me. How many of us pray like this? How many of us pray, my health has been really good since past few months. Please break my hand. Please give me a fracture. How many of us pray? No, none of us pray like this, right? But do these things happen? Yes, they do happen. These things come to us without us asking for them. These things come to us without us inviting them. These things come to us without us endeavoring for them. So because these things, material distress comes to us automatically, similarly, material happiness will also come automatically. When the right time is there, as per our destiny, as per our past karma. So what we should do, any intelligent person should put an endeavor towards getting out of this world, because that's the purpose of this world. The point of this world is to point beyond this world, right? Any intelligent person will not put in endeavor for those things which are automatically supposed to happen. If somebody is putting in endeavor to accumulate more and more material happiness, it is like me telling you all that my goal for today is somehow make this clock strike 10 p.m. If I tell you, you'll be like, what kind of a goal is this? Ananta, are you okay? This will automatically happen. When the right time is there, in next 3.5 hours, the clock will automatically strike 10 p.m. You don't need to sit and wait for that to happen. In those 3.5 hours, you can do many more constructive things, many more productive things, many more useful things, right? So, similarly, we people, instead of putting in endeavor for accumulating more and more material happiness, we can put in some endeavor towards enhancing our life in a way that bringing our life to the point that we don't have to take birth in this world again. Nothing wrong with increasing the standard of our living. Nothing wrong with that. But along with increasing the standard of our living, we should also try to increase the standard of our life. We have been living a material life till now, so we should increase the standard of our life. From material life, we should try to come to a spiritual life, to the platform of spiritual life. It is said that the standard of our living doesn't define us as much as the standard of our longing does. It is the standard of our longing that actually defines us. What are we aspiring for? What are we shooting for? What's the goal of our life? That is what actually defines us. Standard of living is more or less based on karma, based on destiny. But standard of longing, that is within our hands. What we practice, what do we cultivate. So yes, and this is what this human form of life is meant for. We have got this human form of life for a higher purpose. So therefore, it should be used for that purpose. If after getting this human form of life, we are using it for lower purposes, then it is stupidity, it is foolishness, right? If I'm using this human body for those things which animals do, then it is like me telling you all that I want to use this laptop as a door stopper. Good idea, bad idea? Bad idea. Why, Prabhuji? This is made up of steel. It's good quality. Don't you doubt its quality, please. Still a bad idea, right? Why? Because if I need to use something as a door stopper, go to the market, buy a door stopper, a wooden door stopper worth 2 pounds and use that. No. This can be used for many more higher purposes, right? For lot higher things. So similarly, this human form of body, this is not meant to be used for eating, sleeping, mating and defending. No. Ahara nidra bhayametunam cha samanyametat. Mahabharata is saying that these 4 things, ahar, nidra, bhaya and maithun, these 4 things even animals do. Ahar, first thing is eating. We might be eating in a luxurious restaurant and an animal might be eating something raw from the streets. But the purpose of eating, that is to provide nourishment, to provide freedom from hunger, that is the same. The purpose is the same. Similarly, second, nidra. Nidra means sleep. We might be sleeping in our soft, comfy beds, and an animal might be sleeping on the road. But the purpose of sleeping, that is to give us relief from fatigue, that remains the same. Similarly, bhaya means defending. We might be having high-tech weapons for our protection. We might be having some security systems in our house to prevent ourselves from enemies, from thieves, rogues. And an animal might be using the natural instinct, its jaws, claws, etc. But the purpose of defending, that remains the same. And similarly, fourth thing, maithun, means mating or sex life. We might be having sex within our closed private compartments, and an animal might be doing it publicly. But the purpose of sex life, that is to produce progeny and to have sex pleasure, that remains the same. So this human form of life, if we also end up using this body, human body, for those same four lower purposes, then Krishna, what he'll do in next life, he'll give us an animal body. Because that's all what you did in your previous life. I gave you a higher opportunity, but you wasted it for the same four lower things. So therefore, this human form of life should be used very responsibly. Bhagavatam says, Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa nartho yascha iha karamabhi kamasya na indriya priti. Kam means desire. Kam should not be employed in indriya priti. Indriya priti means sense enjoyment. Whatever we do, in general, whatever people do, that is for sense enjoyment. People go to watch a movie. Why? For pleasure of their eyes. People eat something nice for the pleasure of their tongue. So everything is done for sense enjoyment, or as Srila Prabhupada writes, sense gratification. So we are trying to gratify our senses, we are trying to satisfy our senses through all of our endeavors. That's our desire. How can I satisfy my senses in different ways, in new ways, in better ways? But Bhagavatam is saying, no, don't you do that. Kamasya na indriya priti. Now, any intelligent person, he might ask, he might put forward a counter question that, okay, so you are saying that I should not engage in sense gratification. I like to eat. I am very fond of eating. But as per Bhagavatam, I should not do that. So then I'll die, no? Is that the message of Srimad Bhagavatam? That I should die? Is that the message? No. Second line says that you don't need to stop it altogether. What you need to do is, labho jiveta yavata. Engage in sense gratification only to the degree that is absolutely required. Only to the point of keeping your body and soul together. Only to the extent which is necessary to keep you alive. So you might say that how much endeavor goes in that? That can be done in very small amount of time. To accumulate wealth that is required to keep my body and soul together, does not take a lot of time, right? So if you are saying that I should work only to keep my body and soul together, then I'll have a lot of spare time, a lot of extra time. Then what do I do with that extra time? So third line says, Jivasya tattva jigyasa, means inquire into the absolute. Do some tattva jigyasa. Ask questions, ask spiritual questions. Who am I? Who is God? And what is my relationship with Him? Make these inquiries. And fourth line says, Nartho yascha iha karamabhi. Means if you have any other purpose in life, then your life will become comfortably miserable. I'm not saying this. This is what Bhagavatam is saying. So, yes. So this is what we should do. We should try to make plans. We should try to put in endeavors that will help us escape this material world. And we should not become fearful. Sometimes we people think that nobody in the outside world is doing this. If I do this, then will I be cheated? No. Krishna says in the verse previous to the verse which we are discussing, Neha Bikram Nashayasti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Krishna is saying, Na iha abhikram nasho asti. On this path, there is neither any loss nor any diminution. And guess what? Even a tiny endeavor made in this direction can save you from the greatest fear. The greatest fear is birth, death, old age, and disease. So, yes, that's the sum and substance of this verse. Any comments, questions, criticism, feedback? Any questions 1? Any questions 2? Yes.
I'm still trying to get the wording right on my question, but in context of what's happening in the world today, where everyone wants to be sexually liberated, just pinpointing that part of the lesson, I'm really curious to understand, because obviously in the Gita as well, it says you should only have sexual relations if you want to procreate. Is that right?
Yeah.
But you know, in my understanding, there's also stories and pastimes of other demigods that do that, but not for procreation. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to understand your take on that.
Yeah, so sex life or sex pleasure is something which is sometimes overrated, even in the devotee community, and sometimes it is underrated too. So there are sections in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam which tell us what should be the right mindset, right approach towards it. So just to summarize, Srila Prabhupada explains that we need to keep 3 things in mind. One is we need to see what is sanctioned or what is permitted in the scriptures. Second is what is sanctified or how do we sanctify it. And third is regulated. Just like food. What is sanctioned? As per the scriptures, vegetarian food has been sanctioned. We should not indulge in animal killing. We should indulge in intake of only vegetarian diet. Now, that vegetarian food, can it be taken directly? No, it should be sanctified by the process of bhoga offering. We should offer that food stuff to Krishna. That way, ordinary food becomes transformed into blessed food or purified food. Now, even after we have transformed ordinary food into prasad, can prasadam be taken in any quantity? No. Better if we regulate it. So third thing, regulated. How much should be the quantity? Quantity should be that much which is necessary to keep the body and soul together. Basically, we should avoid overeating, right? So now let's apply this to sex life. What is sanctioned? As per Shastras, sex with one partner, with one person has been sanctioned. Now that being said, sometimes people ask a question, then why did Draupadi have 5 husbands? Draupadi is a character from Mahabharata, right? And she had 5 husbands. Why did Draupadi marry 5 times? So the answer is no. Draupadi did not marry 5 times. Draupadi married only once. Her marriage happened in an absolutely normal way. Her marriage happened the way it should have happened. she had given her heart only to Arjuna. The remaining 4 husbands were given to her. And she accepted that as a matter of duty. So Draupadi was not at fault. Okay, coming back to the point. One is sanctioned, that sex life or relationship with one person or one partner. Now, that relationship should be sanctified by the process of marriage ceremony. Right? In Sanskrit, we call it Vivaha Sanskar. There are 10 ceremonies or 10 sanskaras which are supposed to be there in a person's life. The first sanskar is Garbhadan Sanskar, the ceremony of injection of the seed from the male into the female. That is the first sanskar, and the last is Antim Sanskar, the final rites. So there are total 10 sanskaras. So Vivaha Sanskar is what, marriage ceremony is what purifies that relationship. Now within that relationship, can we have unrestricted sex? No, better if you regulate it, right? Best is if we can regulate it to the degree of only for procreation, only for producing children. But if we cannot restrict it to that degree, then we should try to keep it to a minimum. Why? Because not only spiritually, even health-wise also, there are so many side effects, of engaging in unrestricted sex. One is that it leads to restlessness. Second is loss of semen and all. This leads to reduction in memory. So our memory is very much linked to the semen and the similar fluids in our body. Like this. It is also said that semen is so powerful that it can produce life. Just imagine, So it's something that has this potency. Why would one want to waste it, right? So we should be retained as much as possible. And I'll not get into details, but yeah, when we have food, it goes through 7 stages, and the last stage is what we call as semen, So that is just like the crux. When you start boiling the milk, what happens? First it will become condensed, then it will become, in Hindi call it rabdi, right? And if you condense it even more, it will become peda. Peda is something like very small in quantity. So if you take 1 liter of milk, you'll not be able to make many pedas out of it. But every peda that comes out, that is like really sweet, something very nectarian, very relishable. So because it has gone through so many stages, so what the final product is something very precious, You would not want to waste it. You would like to utilize it. You would like to serve it to the best people, something like that. So similarly, when we have food, it is said that, okay, I'll not state data over here, but yeah. So basically, what produces life, we have been able to reach that stage, that semen has been formed after food has gone through multiple stages. So it should not be wasted. It should be retained. And it is also said that when somebody has sex, after that, the feeling after that is equivalent to nervous breakdown, something like that. I mean, I don't have the research paper with me, but yeah. So yeah, try to engage in it as less as possible, only when it is absolutely required. So yeah, some thoughts. Any final thoughts? We have 2 minutes left. Comments, questions? Sorry if this discussion was a bit disturbing or heavy, I did not ask this question. Mataji asked this question, so blame her. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. We'll have Aarti in next 2 minutes. Please stay with us. Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Hare Krishna, everybody. Yeah, just before Arti, I want to remind you all that we like to keep a reasonable corridor up the center of the temple room. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the parting of the Red Sea, but we just want a narrow corridor because our spiritual master is sitting at the back of the temple room, and his vision of the deities and the deities' vision of him should not be blocked. So say it to anybody not to stand right in front of Srila Prabhupada with their back facing him.
श्री श्री राधा गोकुल नंद की, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, गौरा निताय की। की बजयो जयो गौरा चांद रे, आरती को शोभा। की बजयो जयो गौरा चांद रे, आरती को शोभा। ज्ञानाविताता वाने जग मन लोभा। ज्ञानाविताता वाने जग मन लोभा। दाखीन निताय चांद, पामे गदाधारा। दाखीन निताय चांद, पामे गदाधारा। काते अद्वैताशिनी वासा चत्रधारा। काते अद्वैताशिनी वासा चत्रधारा। कोसीयते गौरा चांद, रत्न सिंहासने। कोसीयते गौरा चांद, रत्न सिंहासने। आरती कोरे ना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने आरती कोरे ना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने आरारी आदि कोरी कमर दुलाया नारारी आदि कोरी कमर दुलाया अंजाया मुकुंदा बासु घोषदिगाया अंजाया मुकुंदा बासु घोषदिगाया घंटा बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताला घंटा बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताला माधुरा मृदंगा बाजे परमरसाला माधुरा मृदंगा बाजे परमरसाला शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल Bahu Koti Chandrajini Vadana Ujvala Bahu Koti Chandrajini Vadana Ujvala Mala dese bana mala kore jal mala mala dese bana mala kore jal mala Shiva Sukha Narada Preme Gada Gada Shiva Sukha Narada Preme Gada Gada Bhakti Vinoda Dekhe Gora Rasampada Bhakti Vinoda Dekhe Gora Rasampada Jayo Jayo Gora Chandere Arati ko Sobha Jana Vita Tavane Jagamana